So, what's the letter glitch? Well, it's a glitch discovered by Circle that lets you get the Mario letters in New Donk City out of bounds. Normally, in New Donk City there are these invisible walls that restrict the letters from traveling outside their intended area. But, with proper letter placement and a little help from a scooter, we can actually push all of these letters outside of this boundary and let them explore the city. So, what's the easiest way to do this? Well, the letters A, R, I, and O can all be freed using the same method. First, you're going to want to place any of those letters at this back corner facing in this direction. You'll want to ensure that the letter is as far back in the corner as possible. Next, you're going to want to place the M perpendicular to the other letter. It's important to make sure that the colored side of the M is facing the street. Next, we're going to be using the scooter. With the scooter, you're going to drive up to the M, jump with it, and hop off the scooter. If timed properly, the scooter should be propped almost vertically on the M. Once this is done, you can capture the M and tap right gently on the left control stick. If everything was done correctly, the M should clip into the other letter. Once this is done, you can uncapture the M, capture the other letter, and bring it out of bounds. A helpful tip I've found for getting the M to clip into the other letter is making sure the scooter is closer to the left side of the M as opposed to the right. So what if you want to get the M out of bounds? Well, the easiest way to get the M out is by lining up the letters M, O, and A in that order at the corner. It's important to make sure the letters are as close to each other as they can be here. Once that's done, you're going to want to place the letter R on the side of this line next to the M and the O. From here, you're going to go over to the A, stand adjacent to it, and face the camera up in the air. Since the O is off screen, it is effectively despawned. If you capture the A with this camera, move it quickly, then uncapture, the A will be a little bit closer to the O. From here, you can capture the O and move it a bit closer to the M. Repeat this process one more time and then turn the O perpendicular to the M. If this was done properly both times, the O will be clipping inside of the M. If this isn't happening, try moving both the A and the O using the same method as before until you can get the O to clip into the M. Once the O is set up properly, you can capture the M and easily move it out of bounds. Using this method, we will not be able to get all of the letters out of bounds at once, but there is a way we can do this. After the player has gotten all of the letters out of bounds using the M, we can use an alternate method to get the M out of bounds too. This method is very finicky and can take a long time to get done, but it does in fact work. If we place the A at the edge of the boundary by these steps and the M roughly perpendicular to it, we can use the scooter to push the M into the A and eventually out of bounds. So I think it took me roughly 20 to 30 minutes to get this for the first time, so unless you really want all the letters out of bounds together, I would not recommend trying this method. So now that the letters are out of bounds, what can we do with them? Well, the most popular answer here is to break the jump rope challenge. If we take any of the letters over to the jump rope challenge, we can cheat the game entirely. By starting it and then jumping on the letter, we can just sit there and rack up points indefinitely. Doing this, it's pretty easy to get max score, and it's actually the reason the jump rope leaderboards have so many max scores at the time of uploading. This glitch is still possible in the 1.3.0 version of the game, which is the game's current patch, meaning anyone can get a max score on the leaderboards if they are willing to wait. There is a chance Nintendo will patch this glitch in the future, but since it was discovered way before the release of 1.3.0, this seems pretty unlikely and not really worth their effort. But that's not all we can do with the glitch. Using the letter A, it's actually really easy to clip out of bounds. If we prop the letter up against a wall and slide down into it, the letter will push Mario out of bounds. This can easily be done on about any building, letting you see things in ways you wouldn't normally be able to. It can also be used to enter the New Donk City outfit room without the construction outfit. Another thing we can do is move around certain NPCs using the letter M. For example, this NPC found near jump rope can be pushed using the corner of the letter. Doing this is a bit finicky, so it'll probably take you a while to bring the NPC anywhere far. If you manage to move the NPC over to the jump rope challenge, you can actually use him to cheat the challenge as well. One of my favorite interactions with this glitch is getting the RC car out of bounds. If we stop this taxi by the pool, we can actually push the letter R up on top of the taxi. Letting the taxi drive a little bit closer to the RC car area lets us recapture the R and just barely drop into the arena. From here we can set up the RC car in this corner, move the scooter here to block the RC car from going further back, and then you can use the letter to push the RC car through the wall and out of bounds. Now you can move the RC car wherever you'd like in the city. Unfortunately, the camera will stay locked and not follow the RC car, so it can be quite hard to navigate. Something to note is if you bring the RC car into the letters boundaries, the car will be restricted by them in the same way the letters are. If you'd really like, you can also use the RC car as an alternate way to cheat the jump rope challenge. When you take captures where they aren't supposed to be, things can get glitchy. Nintendo didn't really intend for you to be able to move captures throughout New Donk City. Because of this, we can actually trigger things in ways we aren't supposed to. In the city, there is a sub-area you can enter by capturing a taxi and driving off screen with it. The game's trigger for causing Mario to enter the sub-area is if he is in a certain location while in a capture. This means if we capture things like this pole while Mario is standing in the loading zone, he'll enter the sub-area. The same can be done with letters once they're out of bounds. We can just walk a letter over to the invisible loading zone and then we're suddenly inside the sub-area. There's actually more we can do by taking these letters where we aren't supposed to. By clipping a letter into a taxi, we can trigger a really cool hyperspeed glitch. It's quite easy to clip the letters into the taxi too. All you have to do is leave one in the street, move away from the taxi, and let it drive into it. Once the letter is in the taxi, if we exit it at certain parts, the letter will be sent flying. Traveling at a speed like this can get really glitchy, making it very easy to unintentionally clip through buildings, hit loading zones, and fall off the map. In spite of this, I'd still say this is one of the most fun aspects of the glitch to mess with. And that's all there is to know about New Donk City's letter glitch. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any questions about this glitch, leave a comment down below and I'll do what I can to answer. As always, if you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.